Welcome to Knowledge Series interactive sessions from Yogakshema. In this episode, we have with us Dr. Usha Vastare, a renowned neuroscientist and founder of Yogakshema. You touched many lives through various workshops on interpersonal relationships, mind training, treatment on depression, and many more. How does Vedanta and neuroscience help in these aspects? Can we please dwell on this a bit?
I always believed, and many people have said this too, Rakal, which is there is a spiritual solution for every problem. For every problem that we go under the sun, there is always a spiritual solution. What do I mean by that? Let's take a couple of examples based on the workshops that we have done. Maybe on relationships, interpersonal relationships, depression and anxiety, and see how we can bring the Vedantic angle into the neuroscience field. With respect to interpersonal relationships, one of the easier ways to handle is to understand the relationships from a Vedantic perspective. Let's take an example of the ocean. And we know ocean has many, many waves. And if we ask, what are these waves? And we say, oh, wave is a wave, right? And our ocean is an ocean is what the very first quick answer is all about. But when we go deeper into this, and if we need to understand the essence of the ocean and the essence of waves, in other words, what is it that it is made up of, then we realize both ocean and waves, the essence is the same, that is water. If we can understand this concept and bring it to interpersonal relationships, not just the people that we deal with, but with anybody and everybody, even whom we know or we do not know, the same concept applies. That we are all waves, waves are all part of the ocean. Maybe there are some small waves and big waves, but what happens to all these waves once they come to the shore? They just become like foam, right? And they go back to the ocean, become water, not a wave anymore until the next wave arises. So if we look at this from a broad perspective, keeping this Vedantic concept in mind, and if we have to improve our relationships, it becomes much easier at a cognitive level. But we still have to work on that, and to work on improving the relationships. Absolutely, there are many neuroscientific tools that we should use, and it's a process. I always say this, it is a process, not a stage to reach, but this is on a moment to moment basis that we need to keep reminding ourselves about this relationship between ocean and wave and apply that to human relationships. Let's take another example. You mentioned about depression. Yes, we have conducted workshops. We have treated for depression also. How to bring the Vedantic concept in treating this. If we consider depression as a blessing, I know what I'm saying. It might look like very insensitive on my part to say that look at depression as a blessing when somebody is going through depression. You can take it from me. Absolutely, I'm not saying in an insensitive way. We can go a little deeper later on, but at least for some percentage of the population who go through depression, if they take depression as a blessing and work on that, in other words, when you have everything and you still feel depressed, that is when you have to take depression as a blessing to be able to overcome. We're not going to get into how this is going to happen, but I'm just going to mention this at a very superficial level. In a similar manner, we will take one more example and then it will make more sense how to bring the Vedantic perspective and using neuroscientific tools to be able to overcome either depression or anxiety or to improve our interpersonal relationships. So the third example is anxiety. Again, if we can try and remember that anxiety is always about the future, anxiety is always about something that is unknown, and if we can also remember that in this time and space, the only time that we have is the present moment, is now. If we can understand this at a much, much deeper level in a scientific way, which is also what Vedanta says, by the way, and training ourselves to be in this present moment is enough to overcome anxiety. And to be grateful for this scientific understanding to be able to overcome anxiety without any pharmacological means is a way to bring in Vedanta and neuroscience together to be able to address these issues.
You have said something very new, and I haven't heard it so much from anywhere. Vedanta's concepts being applied in interpersonal relationships and treating depression. If you have any other angle that you want me to take up in my next episode, or if you have any questions, please put it in the comments, or you can also mail us. We'll put up the email ID in the description part of this video. Thank you so much.